You're then taking the 500, replacing it with dummy. Now to say that because you know, your thought is, okay, by the time they check first 1, 3,
yes,
they may not check the rest.
Yes.
Then you then take the 500 that you had replaced to sell, to make money on that. No, you are in it. So you are not, it's not about...
Who did you sell it to?
Also,
who did you sell it to?
The amount of whatever cocaine that they found on the accused person,
yes,
may play a hand in determining his jail time.
Very well.
Somebody found with 50 kg will end up being sentenced to more number of years.
I didn't read that in my law.
You may not read it in your law.
I didn't read that in my law.
I have monitored these things closely. You know, they will just give that person 1 year, 2 years. I don't want to bring one woman to shame, but her case was in public when she carried cocaine. And then there was so much public outcry by virtue of her being in public space and a popular Nollywood actress. At the end of the day, she paid a fine. I think she paid a fine.
You said?
I think she paid a fine.
Are you sure? She was in jail?
If
she was caught, she would have been jailed.
But the jail time wasn't anything significant.
It may not have been significant, but majority of them did go to jail.
You see, where you get it right. That's why I said I didn't see that in my law. Now, when you talk about drugs, now, being caught with you are dealing with it because there are different aspects of it. Because people just hear, oh, drugs and all that. Yes, by the time they nap you, you're napped and you're arrested and they conduct their investigations. Now, whatever the result,
yes,
they get from the investigations determines the evidence they want to prove in court. I mean, they want to present in court.
Yeah.
To say, okay, you are into drugs, or someone, okay, you're negotiating to help someone send something, or let's say, okay, fine, you are even swallow some. So maybe some were even finding in your system. So all these are different.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now, when you then get to court, the evidence before the court determines how the court sees. So now saying that, because it could be that instance that you're talking about, this person that probably the jail time was nothing compared to, and there's some, in fact, they get long time jail. So it depends on the evidence before court. So we can't just say, okay, it's drug and maybe it depends on the evidence before court. The court can only give you what you ask for.
Let's talk a little bit of politics. A lot of people saw the video that made the rounds yesterday when our dearest Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola Adi Ogbeni himself, went on a what I call a rampage in Osun State. The Osun APC primary, guns, boom, panic in Osun. Aregbesola's roadshow turns array, and of course, Oyetola takes consultation to Ejigbo. The story is on page 8 of the Nation newspaper, and it's quite interesting. I have the video, but I do not think it is right to play part of the video. Attention ahead of Osun APC Congress. Now, the direct primary holds across 30 local government areas. You have gone booms in the hearts of Osogbo. And of course, Aregbesola's roadshow around Ajekunle, Rasco, Orisumbari, Post Office, Olaya, Station Road, Fagbewesa areas turned the way it turned. The interesting part of it is the man Aregbesola is campaigning for is the same man that he campaigned for in 2019 or 2018. He calls Oyetola, the main bone of contention here is the fact that Oyetola has, according to Lasun Yusuf, who was the former deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, and also one of the flag bearers, one of the people trying to vie for the position of governor in Osun State. Oyetola's crime is the fact that he turned some of the policies of Aregbesola around. So those are some of the things he said.
But it's beyond that. Let me not deny knowing and being close to Oyetola.
Okay.
Yeah, we've worked together while he ran an insurance brokerage company in Falomo then,
Yeah.
Silver Trust.
Yes.
Before he moved to 35, Sakatinubu. He was Aregbe's chief of staff for 8 years.
Yes.
And one or two times that I had to see him in Osogbo and in Ragbiji, there wasn't anything to reflect a schism or disharmony between them. Because this man was working as if he was reporting to God, who will not take excuses.
Good.
One of the closest aides to them is B. Odunade. They call him Comrade. Very popular politician from Ife. And it was through him I got into some of those circles. And everything was seemingly rosy.
Okay.
Until it became, it was time for everyone to start preparing to go. And then, if you had followed show politics, everybody, we knew, let's not deny that Oyetola would most likely become Osun governor. It was taken as given. I mean, so when he won the primaries, either by hook or crook, but I witnessed when he hosted some senatorial district in his house in Ragbiji. I witnessed it and I saw the crowd. So it reflected some measure of acceptability. Though they may be rented crowd, though, hey, I'm going this far to establish something. But B was very close to Oyetola, and I was thinking that he would play, because when Oyetola was chief of staff, B was deputy chief of staff.
Okay.
Before they made him commissioner for sports and whatever.
Okay.
So the thinking was he will
also be government of
Oyetola. He will play some serious roles in Oyetola's government. He finished his MPA preparatory to being in that government, but somehow
it was pushed out.
And so when I called him, I said, the thing is still emerging. Lo and behold, he was out of the game. And you know, politicians now never say never.
Good.
They also have to set up team up to express their
displeasure.
And that was the root of all the problems we are seeing today. So I would have expected him, as in Oyetola now, you are the governor of the state, governor of PDP, APC, ABGA, and everybody. To that extent, you will have been an agent of unification. Okay, even if there are dissents are better managed than allowed to fester. But when they fester, greater damage is done.
And because now the Minister of Interior, I like to call him that, is saying that the top, the progressives, the original, what was that thing? The Osun progressives, are the original Osun State APC members. He said further that they were the ones that fought to take over the government from PDP.
It was the court that gave them justice. They didn't win the election. I mean, they were not announced as having won.
Aregbesola is not serious. And
before there was no APC.
Now he went for that to say that even some of the elders who don't, who they thought had some measure of sense and no longer apparently has sense. I'm just wondering, because
Aregbesola is not serious, and here is my reason. When Aregbesola was governor of Osun State, on paper and by law, Aregbesola was the governor. But on ground, Oyetola was the governor.
It was, God bless you.
Aregbesola was practically in Lagos. We were supposed to see Aregbesola at some point, and we were in Osun. He told us to meet him in Osun. We left Lagos. In Osogbo. We left Lagos. We went to Osogbo. we got to Osogbo to find out that Aregbesola was in Lagos. So why did you tell us to come to go to Osogbo? He didn't come back that day, so we had to wait till the next day. Now, what did I see that day? Chief of Staff, Oyetola was in his office. Commissioners came to see him. All of them were like this, they queue up, and their hands were behind them to see Chief of Staff. I said there's trouble. Only if this guy know what is happening. Is this the way they run these old show? So at that time,
so you are saying that
so much power.
So is the Abuja
no, it's everywhere. That Abuja thing is, forget, it's everywhere. All the 36 states. It's everywhere.
Are you kidding me?
He's everywhere. Forget it. I've seen number of them. He's everywhere. Forget that Abuja is the same thing, the same replication.
So the chief of staff is no longer just the staff of the government.
No. He's the one in charge. He's actually the facto president or the governor.
Okay, so he's like he's the bridge between you and the president.
He was not on ground. Oyetola was the one running the show. So you are giving Oyetola. I'm aware of the. In fact, I remember we're with the deputy chief of staff, and in fact, we thought the relationship was cordial.
Bless you.
Now, don't forget that Oyetola was from Oga.
Let me disturb you.
Oyetola happens to be Oga's cousin. So now Oyetola was practically planted in that government to take over from. So now you should know better.
To Ghana experience.
Now you should know, not Ghana experience. You should know better. But now, because that has cost
successfully was an insurance practitioner, and he also managed other investments. Okay.
No wonder he was doing well economically in Osun State.
Abati he managed all of our investments.
So no wonder Osun State is doing well economically.
No, wait, that's the second issue now. But what baffles me is at what point did the train pass between Oyetola and B?
Thank you. B, hold on, it's simple. B to Oyetola, B is loyal to Aregbe.
Aha.
B is loyal to Aregbe. Now, Oyetola knows that, wow, if B is in this government, Aregbe will be in this government. So Oyetola wanted Aregbe out in that government.
Okay. So it is a matter of
protect
yourself, protect my future.
So that's the reason why Oyetola could not accommodate B in that government, because he knows that whatever that is happening,
there will be there would have been
everything about
inside the government.
So he has to go.
Inside the government.
Reason why Oyetola had to come, act it, make sure that B was not part of the government and was dealing with Oga, and don't forget that now between Aregbe also and Tinubu, we all know what has been happening and all that.
There's a
report already.
He said that Tinubu is playing God.
Yeah,
it's a media report this morning.
Yes, he has come out.
He said it. I have the video. Do you want to listen to the video?
So that was
there is a video. It's not a it's not film trick. I have the video. You may want to listen to the video.
Maybe after the program.
Because if you want to listen to the video, I can play. You know, it took me hours of listening. I listened. I'm talking about all the way till 1 a.m. this morning. I just could not fathom.
You could not connect. Yeah.
I could not understand.
Has it gotten this bad?
People, the kind of politics, I was baffled by this politics. I mean, this is what I used to see Aregbe do to them Onilola when Aregbe was coming to Osun, newly, and you know the abuse and all that. I could not fathom how that began to happen inside the same party, and I'm like, we're in trouble.
I remember there was a day, Onilola and one of my senior friends, they were colleagues. You know, he was in the army. That man was in the Navy. We visited Onilola, and he said, well, this man don't put a no is you know, referring to Aregbesola. And so again, another headache. I mean, that was how terrible it was that he had to say that as a sitting governor. Of course, eventually the man lost out, and Aregbe ensured that he wiped off everything concerning
No, but you say the interesting part. It is the politics that Aregbe played that Oyetola is playing. I do sincerely believe that Oyetola listened a bit more. I grew up in Osun State, and people loved Oyetola. People really loved, but they did not like my auntie, the deputy governor, Erelu Olushola Obada. They did not like her one bit. So because of what she had done or perceived to have not done in Ijesha, and you know Ijesha is the biggest community in the whole of Osun State. Yeah. So it was a known fact that Owa had said you people should not even bother. Lady book. Do you understand? That, so it was a matter of Osun State people were PDP people that were glad to be PDP, but they did not like Erelu Olushola Obada, and they were not going to be sit down and allow that to come back again. It was simple. So Aregbesola was able to ride a little bit on that established hatred.
Because he's from
and moreover, he's an Ijesha man. Now, he brought the Lagos style of politics. I don't know where you people learned that one. We were very factual people. We don't draw those sneaky things that you people were doing. He brought that, and as a young child, a young lady going into politics over there, watching, it was a totally different story for us. It became this rancor, this abuse, this insults, it was an intelligent quarrel before.
It became street quarrel.
It became a Yaleti kind of fight. Maybe we're singing also. I mean, I grew up in Ijesha politics and I never saw us singing. Our parents were not singing.
That was Lagos imported too.
But they brought it and singing began. It was exported from Lagos. So I'm not surprised. The policies of Aregbesola, on the other hand, he tried a little bit with infrastructure, but the policies of Aregbesola were also not popular. A lot of people did not like some of the major things he did.
For instance,
Oyetola listened to them,
and now
corrected them, and then you have issues with that. So how exactly? I don't know.
Oyetola was in that government. Oyetola, in fact, he was relating more with the people.
It was the soul of the government.
Yes, thank you. Because Oga was busy gallivanting up and down. He wanted to hold Lagos, wanted to hold. Where's the number? Where did you get the number from? Is it not Alimoso? He was trying to get that, and so it was gallivanting. Meanwhile, this man was doing grassroots, work. Politics in Osun and all that, and he saw what Aregbe was doing. He couldn't correct, or maybe I don't want to believe that he didn't speak, or he did. Aregbe didn't listen, or he purposely did not. Thank you, because he noted this, he noted it. Thank you, noted those errors, and for him, it's a plus.
Don't worry,
it's a plus to his attachment, and that was what he did. So he took all that, and immediately he came in. He started fixing those things.
He fixed it.
That's it. He started fixing and people. And again, don't forget, he had interface with people. He played the grassroots. That was why he could jettison what was his name? B. And because really. For not just B, there's also other people.
I know.
It just that I felt no.
When it comes to Ife politics, B was on ground. Is the man. If you want to try, go to Ife today and say you are looking for the House of Comrade. Don't even mention his name. Don't even mention it. Yeah, anywhere. I remember during all this installation.
Yeah.
He played a very significant role. I was in Ife for 60 days prior to installation, because I was involved in installation. So to that extent, I never thought it was the Ife leg in the entire government. So I thought it would be a continuum in the present government. But unfortunately, they had a fall.
All right, it's quite interesting.
My worry now is, at the end of the day, the people suffer.
Are you sure the people will suffer?
The people now.
I think one of the
policies that should have been put in place that will benefit certain quarters.
Are you sure it's the people that will suffer, or the fact that APC will lose out?
Leave APC out. At the end of the day, governance is about people. When Oni also be installed, the road from Ibadan to Ikwetumu to Ife was terribly bad. It was just a meeting with B. I was there. Please tell the governor and then they fixed the road. That was how the road was motorable. All people who even the city, the road like from the town, everything was mended, and he made all these things possible. But like then we were writing. I wrote a petition to that should go and fix the Lobu road. You know?
You want to listen a bit to this part of the video. My director can just raise the volume there. Let's listen to this video a little bit so that you can understand.
Mo kí gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ tó wà níbí Ọlọ́run tó bí ẹ̀yin náà. Mo kí àwọn oníwèé ìròyìn. Mo tá bá sọ ń bí ní kẹ́sì ẹ má parọ́ mọ́ wa o. Akọ̀ǹbẹ̀yìn ni ẹ má parọ́ mọ́. Ètè bá rí tẹ bá gbọ́ ní kẹ́sọ̀ ẹ má kọ ọrùn sọ o. A kí gbogbo wa lọ́kùnrin àti lóbìnrin. Ẹ máa sọ́ọ̀sì bá ṣe ń jáde ẹ máa sọ́ọ̀sì. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ̀rọ̀ díẹ̀ náà. Inú mi dùn ní pé a pè ní ẹ jáde. Àwọn tó wà ń bí àwọn tani kan pè síbí. Àwọn olórí ẹgbẹ́ láti ẹsẹ̀ kòkú dé state lánìkúwádú. Kó ló gbogbo dákun. Stakeholders tàbí critical stakeholders lánìkúwádú. Mo dẹ̀ wápẹ́ ilé wa ń bí. Àwọn míì tó ń ṣe tiwa náà máa wà ń bí àwọn Sóló Mákindé á wà ń bí. Àwa kò sẹ́ni tó sílẹ̀ Ọlọ́run nìkan ló lẹ́rù bà wá. Èèyàn kan mọ́. Ẹ̀gbọ́n kàtẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó wá gbọ́n bí ẹ lọ sọ́rọ̀. Ẹni mi dẹ̀ dùn pé ẹ wá. Nọ́jì wà lórí sọ díẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n kí n tó sí tiẹ̀ ń fẹ́ràn ilé tí nǹkan kan. Wọ́n ní kàn dálẹ̀ kan ṣà àwọn alẹ́gbẹ́ yìí o. Ẹ jẹ́ tí yẹn sọ fún mi kó yé dáadáa. Ẹgbẹ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re ẹgbẹ́ onílọsíwájú yìí ẹgbẹ́ onítẹ̀síwájú yìí ẹgbẹ́ tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìlú tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ aráàlú tó wà nífẹ̀ẹ́ ara ẹ̀ tí òun ṣe pé ká máa fojú ṣe oore o ẹgbẹ́ Awólọ́wọ̀ rèé o ẹgbẹ́ Bọ́lá Ìgè rèé o ẹgbẹ́ Bàbá Àkàndé rèé kó tó fi wálẹ̀ díẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ ká wá bá yín lẹ́nu ẹ̀ ní 2004 rèé. Ẹgbẹ́ ká fi pọ́njú ìrora àti ìdíra kójọ ní 2004 dá 2010. November 26 tó ń dá aláde ní court ẹgbẹ́ náà rẹ o. So ẹ má pèrè ayé ní faction wọn ẹ ṣe faction ẹ̀yin ní APC. Ẹ jẹ́ n tún sọ.
You know, with that singular statement, he has started the funeral of APC in Osun State if care is not taken. This man they describe as Inokukuru Bilisi. The area is called to order, the best for the party. Otherwise, the party will have problems. But some people are enlightened.
Too enlightened?
Yeah, they are enlightened. They are not the crowd that you can just use a head mentality to push here and there. They know when to rebel. They know when to say enough. They know when to say no. They shouldn't drive. I mean, come on. If it's all about governance, good governance, and then giving people democracy dividends, we shouldn't get to this point. No.
Isn't this disgraceful, really?
I've told you that, the politics we play here is about me, myself, and about what I can get. Nobody cares about the people. We don't care about the people because that's why you see the do or die affairs. I want to hijack structure. That one want to hijack. It's just me, myself, and I. That's why we are here. Where we are here.
When he was governor, nobody could have been doing or could have done what he is doing to the present governor. hitting the state with
True. I remember the way Ashiwaju went down there at one point when he was going to campaign for second term. I remember the way they brought resources into the state to ensure that he won that election at all costs. I remember the day they were giving
campaign for him.
I remember
they were Lagos crowd.
Yes, I remember the way they were bringing tankers of kerosene to distribute when Obishore was also doing the same thing. I remember because I'm from Osho State. That's where I grew up. So all of these reports were coming. Teachers at that point, Adeboshola was owing teachers. And that was one of the things this man did when he came into power. Pay them off. Make sure everybody was paid off.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering.
Of course,
I think we're preparing, or maybe they're preparing for the funeral of APC.
What these schools, fantastic structure.
Yes.
Give it to him.
No, but one thing Aregbesola did. Do you know that some of the constituency projects of honorables and members of House of Assembly in Osun State there was to build classrooms or schools in their various schools?